An alien watched over me since birth. Now I'm the chosen one. And her future husband. The celestial arrangement. The graduation cap sailed through Naomi Lincoln's bedroom with impressive velocity before landing in her waste bin. Perfect shot. If only her life's trajectory felt as certain as her aim. Naomi, breakfast is ready. Her father's voice echoed up the stairs of their modest suburban home. Coming. She called back, taking one last look at her reflection. The dark circles under her eyes betrayed her sleepless night. Too much thinking about community college starting in the fall, while all her friends scattered to universities across the country. Through her window, Naomi spotted their neighbor, Mr. Paddle, demonstrating proper lawn mowing technique to his robotic gardener. The machine's operational lights blinked in what appeared to be mechanical frustration. Just another Thursday in Hillcrest, where humanity's integration with extraterrestrial technology had become as ordinary as complaining about the weather. Naomi grabbed her worn leather journal and headed downstairs. The kitchen smelled of cinnamon and coffee, her father's specialty French toast waiting on a plate. There's my graduate, Richard Lincoln beamed, sliding the maple syrup her way. At 52, her father's salt and pepper hair and laugh lines told the story of raising a daughter alone after her mother's death 11 years ago. Any plans for the day? Meeting Theo at Cosmic Grounds later, Naomi said, drowning her breakfast in syrup. Then looking for some new guitar strings. My E-string snapped last night. Richard nodded, his attention drifting to his tablet where news headlines scrolled. Don't forget dinner at 6. I'm making your favorite. Dad, graduation was 4 days ago. You've made my favorite every night since. Sue me for celebrating my only daughter's accomplishment. He chuckled, refilling her orange juice. Besides, the Interstellar Unity Festival fireworks should be visible from our backyard tonight. Thought we could watch them together. Naomi suppressed an eye roll. Fine, but if Theo wants to hang out later. Speaking of the festival, Richard interrupted, his expression shifting as he focused on his tablet. Reminds me of Vashira. Naomi paused mid-bite. The blue lady from your old photos. Richard laughed softly. She wasn't just blue. Vashira was one of the highest-ranking Kryllian diplomats ever assigned to Earth, and my research partner when I worked at the Interspecies Relations Department before you were born. Naomi vaguely recalled seeing holographs, a tall, elegant alien with luminescent blue skin standing beside her father. In every image, she stared at baby Naomi with an expression that seemed almost possessive. She used to say the strangest thing, Richard continued, a nostalgic smile playing on his lips. Every time she'd visit, she'd look at you and announce, when she reaches full neurological maturity, she shall become my son's bonded companion. Naomi choked on her orange juice. She what? Oh, it was just Kryllian humor, Richard waved dismissively. Different cultural norms. She had to return to their homeworld when you were about 5. Some crucial diplomatic mission, probably negotiating interstellar mining rights or whatever high-ranking diplomats do. Naomi nodded absently, already plotting her escape. Right, well, I'm meeting Theo soon, so just be back by 6, okay? The Cosmic Grounds Cafe buzzed with its usual mix of human and alien patrons. Theo Markowitz, lanky with perpetually disheveled dark hair, waved from their favorite corner booth. You look like you've seen a ghost, he commented as Naomi slid into the seat across from him. My dad's going full nostalgia mode, she sighed, stealing a sip of Theo's iced matcha. Kept talking about some alien diplomat he knew when I was a baby. Was it that blue lady in the holographs at your house? Theo grinned. The one holding baby you. Don't be weird, Naomi groaned. Apparently she used to joke about me marrying her son someday. Intergalactic arranged marriage. That's hardcore. Theo's attention shifted to the cafe's large viewing window. Whoa, check that out. Outside, a sleek vessel was descending through the clouds. Unlike the utilitarian shuttles that typically transported visitors to the festival, this craft resembled polished obsidian with veins of electric blue pulsing along its hull. Sweet ride, Naomi murmured, squinting against the glare. Probably some VIP. Theo was already standing, slinging his backpack over one shoulder. We should go see. I told my dad I'd be home by 6. It's only 2 o'clock. Live a little, Lincoln. Hillcrest's Central Plaza had transformed overnight. Floating light orbs hovered above colorful booths where humans and aliens showcased cultural exchanges. Food vendors offered everything from classic corn dogs to gelatinous Martian delicacies that pulsated uncomfortably on their plates. The Obsidian ship had landed in the VIP section, drawing a crowd of onlookers and several official-looking humans in formal attire. $10 says it's another boring ambassador, Theo whispered. You're on, Naomi replied. The figure that emerged silenced them both. Standing nearly 7 feet tall, he moved with liquid grace, his skin a deep cerulean blue that seemed to shimmer beneath the sunlight. His athletic form was clad in a fitted suit that appeared to be made from some kind of metallic fabric that shifted between black and midnight blue. His face, with high cheekbones and almond-shaped eyes that glowed with an inner light, registered as both alien and undeniably striking. Holy quantum physics, Theo whispered. Is that a Krellian royal? They never leave their sector. How do you even know that? Naomi hissed. Xenobiology Club, remember. That's definitely Krellian royalty. The blue alien smiled politely as local officials rushed forward, bowing slightly as protocol demanded. Ambassador Vorax, the mayor gushed, we are honored by your unexpected presence at our humble celebration. The honor is mine, he replied, his voice deep with a musical quality that seemed to vibrate through the air. I have personal business in Hillcrest. Naomi grabbed Theo's arm. We should go. Are you insane? This is fascinating. Wait. Naomi froze. He's looking this way. Indeed, Vorax's gaze had swept the crowd and locked onto Naomi. Recognition flashed in his luminescent eyes, followed by something that sent a jolt through her nervous system. He smiled, a slow, deliberate curving of lips that revealed pearlescent teeth, and excused himself from the officials. He's coming over, Theo whispered excitedly. He's actually coming over. Shut up, Naomi muttered, rooted to the spot as Vorax approached. He moved through the crowd with effortless authority, humans and aliens alike parting to clear his path. When he stood before Naomi, she realized he towered over her by at least a foot. Up close, she could see subtle patterns of light moving beneath his blue skin like constellations shifting in a night sky. Naomi Lincoln, he said, his voice sending inexplicable vibrations through her chest. You've grown. Naomi stared, dumbfounded. Yeah, that's what humans do. His laugh was like distant chimes. Indeed, and you've developed most impressively. His gaze swept her from head to toe, lingering in a way that made her face burn. You have your father's analytical mind, but your mother's spirit. An optimal combination. Theo cleared his throat loudly. Oh, Naomi started. This is my friend Theo. Vorax acknowledged him with a slight nod before returning his full attention to Naomi. I've been monitoring your development from afar. Richard has been most generous with updates and biological data. My dad's been sending you information about me. Naomi's voice cracked embarrassingly. Until approximately 2 Earth years ago, when his communications became less frequent. However, the Interstellar Registry Office has been most helpful in confirming your recent graduation and subsequent achievement of neurological maturity. Naomi blinked. You've been checking up on me through alien bureaucracy. Naturally. Vorax reached into a pocket-like fold in his suit and withdrew a translucent tablet. With a few elegant gestures, he transferred data to a document that materialized in the air between them. You have reached the age of consensual union, he announced, his voice both melodious and authoritative. I have filed the necessary paperwork with the Krellian High Council for our bonding ceremony. His expression softened, becoming almost playful. I hope you appreciate the irony that we are both predominantly blue-clad today, a promising synchronicity. Naomi stared at the floating document, incomprehension giving way to dawning horror. Wait. What? Beside her, Theo coughed violently, disguising what sounded suspiciously like laughter. I realize this may seem precipitous, Vorax continued, though I assure you it has been meticulously planned for precisely 16 Earth years, 4 months, and 22 days. The document rotated slowly in the air. Naomi caught phrases like interspecies union and diplomatic accord of highest priority. You can't be serious, she finally managed. I am always serious about matters of personal commitment, Naomi Lincoln. He reached out one long blue finger, gently touching her cheek. His skin was cooler than human temperature, sending electricity crackling through her nerves. Though I am quite capable of levity in other contexts. Theo made a strangled sound. Naomi stepped back. Look, there's been some misunderstanding. A common human error, Vorax interrupted smoothly, interpreting literal Krillian statements as attempts at humor. My mother was quite explicit with Richard regarding our intentions. Your intentions to marry me. To establish a neurological bond once you achieve maturity, yes. He tilted his head. It's a great honor. I've declined 9 bonding proposals from prominent families across 3 star systems while awaiting your maturation. Several local officials had drifted closer, listening with undisguised interest. The mayor stepped forward with a nervous cough. Ambassador Vorax, perhaps we should discuss the logistics of your stay. We weren't expecting. I will be residing with the Lincoln family, as previously arranged, Vorax stated, his tone brooking no argument. Previously arranged. Naomi sputtered. I sent notification 3 standard months ago. The alien diplomat tapped something on his wrist device. Richard Lincoln acknowledged receipt and expressed enthusiasm for my visit. The mayor's face flushed. Well, that seems to be in order then. We certainly wouldn't want to cause any, diplomatic incidents with our Krillian allies. He patted Naomi awkwardly on the shoulder. Congratulations on your engagement. I'm not engaged. The human custom of engagement is unnecessary, Vorax explained. The formal union registration has already been submitted. We are now in the customary acclamation period before the binding ceremony. Before Naomi could protest further, her phone buzzed in her pocket. She fumbled it out to find 4 missed calls and a text from her father. Where are you? There's an alien diplomat at our door saying he's moving in. Oh God, Naomi muttered, showing the phone to Theo. Dude, Theo whispered, this is either the worst thing ever or the coolest thing ever. Not helping, Naomi hissed. Vorax smiled serenely. Shall we proceed to your residence? My atmospheric adjustment is complete, but I find Earth gravity somewhat taxing after extended space travel. As if on cue, 3 floating pods detached from his ship and hovered toward them. Luggage, Naomi realized with growing dread. I need to talk to my dad, she said desperately. Of course, Vorax gestured gracefully. After you. By the time Naomi arrived home, her father stood in the front yard, arms crossed, facing off against the hovering luggage pods that bobbed impatiently at the doorstep. Naomi Elise Lincoln, he called when he spotted her. What is going on? I was really hoping you could tell me, she replied, breathless from running. The pods perked up at her approach, recognizing her somehow, and began floating toward the door again. Richard blocked their path. These things showed up 20 minutes ago trying to get inside. Then I got a notification that a diplomatic envoy was en route to our address. That would be me, came Vorax's melodious voice as he glided up the walkway. Hello, Richard Lincoln. You've aged considerably since our last meeting. Richard's mouth fell open. Vorax, but I thought you were on Krelia Prime with your mother. I was. Vorax clasped Richard's shoulder with formal precision, until Naomi's maturation necessitated my return. Richard's gaze darted between them, confusion giving way to sudden comprehension. Oh no. No. Vashira wasn't actually serious about the bonding declaration. Of course she was. Vorax looked puzzled. My mother has never understood why you found it humorous. Naomi stepped between them. Dad, did you really give him permission to stay here? I got an email about a diplomatic visit. Richard protested. It didn't say anything about bonding declarations. Vorax consulted his wrist device. I believe the Earth translation may have rendered it as personal diplomatic engagement of permanent nature. I thought it was about cultural exchange or something. A sleek black government vehicle pulled up to the curb, and two official-looking humans in dark suits emerged. They approached with practiced formality. Mr. Lincoln, Ms. Lincoln, the taller one flashed credentials. I'm Agent Patel, Earth Diplomatic Court. We're here to ensure Ambassador Vorax's accommodations meet with interstellar diplomatic protocols. This is insane, Naomi muttered. We understand this is unexpected, said the second agent, a woman with sharp features, but I need to stress the importance of maintaining positive relations with Corellia Prime. The ambassador's personal diplomatic status is especially significant. Vorax smiled benignly. My quarters need not be elaborate. The guest room will suffice, although my personal gravitational regulator will require access to your home's power grid. Naomi watched in helpless disbelief as the agents ushered them all inside, the luggage pods bobbing eagerly behind. Within minutes, Vorax had gracefully claimed the guest room, his strange devices unpacking themselves while government agents installed power adapters and security measures. In the kitchen, Naomi cornered her father. We have to do something. I'm trying to understand what's happening, Richard whispered frantically. When Vashura used to talk about her son bonding with you, I thought it was just, I don't know, alien baby talk. Well, they weren't joking, Naomi hissed. And now they've got paperwork. Agent Patel cleared his throat from the doorway. Mr. Lincoln, Ms. Lincoln, if I could have a moment. They followed him into the living room, where he unfolded a holographic display. I've been authorized to brief you on certain aspects of the situation. He lowered his voice. Ambassador Vorax is not just any diplomat. He's a prince of the Corellian High Council and key negotiator of the Proxima Centauri trade agreement. So, Naomi demanded. So, Agent Patel continued patiently. His personal requests carry significant diplomatic weight. The treaty his mother helped draft includes a subsection on personal diplomatic arrangements, essentially provisions for interspecies relationships involving high-ranking officials. He highlighted a section of fine print that expanded in the air. In summary, Patel explained, refusing his bonding proposal without proper justification under Section 47B could be interpreted as an insult to Corellia, potentially triggering a review of Earth's most favored trading status. Are you saying I have to marry him or cause an interplanetary incident? Naomi's voice rose an octave. Patel winced. Not exactly. There are procedures, appeals processes, but they're complex. In the meantime, we're asking for your cooperation during the acclimation period. From the guest room came the sound of alien music, crystalline tones that made the windows vibrate slightly. Vorax appeared in the doorway, now dressed in what appeared to be casual Earth clothes that somehow made him look even more striking. I hope you don't mind, he said, eyes fixed on Naomi. I've brought traditional Corellian bonding melodies to help establish our neurological resonance. Naomi stared at him, then at the government agents, then at her father. The realization crashed over her like ice water. Her peaceful post-graduation summer had just been obliterated by interstellar matrimonial politics. I need some air, she muttered, pushing past them all toward the front door. Naomi, wait, her father called after her, but she was already gone, racing down the street as twilight descended, desperate to escape the alien fiancé who had claimed her from across the stars. Bonds across galaxies. Naomi's sneakers pounded against the pavement as she ran through the darkening streets of Hillcrest. Her breath came in ragged gasps, matching the chaotic rhythm of her thoughts. The evening sky above was dotted with more ships than usual, festival visitors creating a celestial traffic jam of twinkling lights. She finally reached Theo's house, pounding on the door until her friend appeared. a half-eaten sandwich in hand. "Whoa," Theo stepped back as Naomi pushed past him into the house. "I've been texting you for hours. Blue boyfriend problems." "Not funny." Naomi collapsed onto the couch. "I need to crash here. My parents are in Phoenix until Sunday," Theo said, following her to the living room. "What happened?" "Government agents installed alien tech in my house." Naomi groaned, burying her face in a cushion. "Apparently, if I don't go along with this acclimation period, I might cause an interstellar diplomatic crisis." "Harsh." Theo flopped into an armchair across from her. "But also kind of amazing. I mean, he's literally an alien prince." "He's not amazing. He's terrifying," Naomi protested. "And old. He knew me as a baby." "How old is he anyway? Like, in comparison to humans?" "I don't know," Naomi moaned. "Do I look like an extraterrestrial biology expert?" Theo grabbed his tablet. "Let's find out." For the next 3 hours, they fell down an internet rabbit hole of interstellar treaties, Krellian biology, and legal precedents for interspecies unions. Naomi's desperation grew with each new discovery. "Listen to this," Theo said, eyes glued to the screen. "Krellians experience a biological pairing phenomenon called the resonance approximately once every 60 Earth years after reaching full maturity around 90 years old." "Wait, he's over 90. "Dude, he's probably like 120, but it says here they age differently. Their biological equivalent of a 25-year-old human lasts for decades." Naomi buried her face in her hands. "Great, I'm being stalked by an extraterrestrial senior citizen prince." "There's more." Theo scrolled down. "During the resonance cycle, Krellians must establish a permanent neurological bond with a compatible partner or risk serious mental deterioration." He whistled. "Heavy stuff. So if you don't marry him, he'll get sick. Maybe worse than sick." Naomi felt a twinge of guilt despite herself. "And check this out. That Section 47V the government guy mentioned. It's specifically about respecting alien biological imperatives in diplomatic contexts." Theo grimaced. "Sorry, but legally speaking, you might actually be stuck with him." Naomi's phone vibrated with another text from her father. "Please come home. We need to talk about this." "I'm not going back there tonight," Naomi muttered, tossing the phone aside. "Cool by me," Theo said. "Want to watch Invasion, the documentary on Space Stream? They just added interviews with actual Martian colonists." Naomi glared at him. Too soon. Morning light streamed through Theo's living room window, jolting Naomi awake from a dream involving blue hands and floating paperwork. She checked her phone. 12 missed calls from her father and one text message from an unknown number that simply read, "I await your return, bonded one." "How did he get my number?" Naomi muttered. Theo stumbled down the stairs, hair sticking up in all directions. "Any updates from Planet Boyfriend?" Naomi showed him the message. "Persistent," Theo yawned. "You can't hide here forever, you know." "I'm not hiding. I'm strategizing." "Right. Well, strategy queen, I'm out of food, and my parents will kill me if there's nothing in the fridge when they get back." Naomi sighed, knowing she'd run out of options. "Fine. I'll go home and deal with whatever this is." The walk back to her house gave Naomi time to rehearse what she'd say to Vorax. She'd be firm but diplomatic, explain that humans didn't form lifelong bonds at 18, thank him for his interest, but decline politely. Maybe suggest they could be friends instead. Her thoughts screeched to a halt as she turned onto her street. Her ordinary suburban home was still there, but the front yard had changed. Luminescent plants of impossible colors curved along the walkway, emitting a soft glow even in daylight. Strange crystalline structures caught the sunlight, refracting it into prismatic patterns across the lawn. Their next-door neighbor, Mrs. Hernandez, stood frozen with her morning coffee, staring slack-jawed over the fence. "Ah, morning, Mrs. Hernandez," Naomi called weakly. "Your yard is glowing." The woman replied, not taking her eyes off the alien flora.